Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here on Ravens Rundown, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Coming up on today's show, we are going to look into the possibility of signing Jamal Adams after minicamp, as one Ravens outlet is recommending that be the next move Baltimore makes this offseason. Also, can an extension for Mark Andrews be on the way? We will dissect that possibility and react to it coming up in just a little while from right now. Before we do that, the most comments that we have gotten on a video this month was 115 here on Ravens Rundown. I want to smash that record. I want this to be a record-setting show today. Can we get 150-plus comments on today's show? If we do, whoever comments are the most, you're going to get a shout-out on a later edition of Ravens Rundown. Set the record. I want to see as many R's as we can. Let's get to 150 and we'll get started here on the program. Let's begin with Jamal Adams. The folks at Ebony Bird, the Ravens fan-sided site, are recommending that the next move that the Baltimore Ravens should make following minicamp is signing the former All-Pro safety of the Seattle Seahawks in free agency. Let's dive in and see what they had to say. The idea of signing Adams comes with the contingency that he has been humbled in the last few years. If the Ravens can get assurance that he is not going to lash out at the media and is willing to adjust to a lesser role at a championship team, they can and should move forward with the signing. Adams is not going to be an All-Pro anymore, but he can still be an effective player when he has a defense around him that can compensate for his shortcomings. Putting Adams in the box next to Roquan Smith could give Baltimore a speedy defense that can lay some thunder on ball carriers in the postseason. First off, no thank you. And from what we've heard of the meetings the Ravens have had with Jamal Adams, the idea of him playing in the box and playing linebacker has not been discussed. They've talked about him coming into a backup safety role. And I have a lot of red flags when it comes to Jamal Adams, and we'll go over these one by one just real quickly here. Extensive injury history, missed a ton of time when he was with the Seattle Seahawks over the years for a variety of different reasons. He's terrible in coverage, which as a safety, that's supposed to be your number one priority, is to take care of business when it comes to coverage. So that's not good. He's overrated as a pass rusher. He doesn't get after the quarterback as much as you would think. There are character concerns. You point back to when he quit on his team, didn't show up for that Monday Night Football game against Philadelphia and was nowhere to be found, went after the media, called a reporter's wife ugly and all that. And just on top of that, a locker room cancer, Jamal Adams is. As we saw that Seahawks team last season got better when he was not around. So with that said, I know that he's a three-time Pro Bowler. I know that he's been a first-team All-Pro and all that. But to me, there's just too many question marks that make this worthwhile. And the production just hasn't been there for Jamal Adams. You look at the last season that he was relatively good. You got to go back to, 2021 when he had 2 picks and 4 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups. He just hasn't been the same player. And his grades last year left a lot to be desired. 74.9 overall grade. Run defense grade wasn't good. Pass rush grade was good at 85.5. Coverage grade 50.7, but just not what you would hope for if you're the Baltimore Ravens. And for me, think about this. All those red flags, and on top of all of that, there are better options for the Ravens to sign at safety than Jamal Adams, including Adams' former teammate Quandre Diggs is still available. I'd love to have Diggs in Baltimore. Some other names. Eddie Jackson is a possibility out there. There are a number of guys that I would take that the Ravens could afford to pay before I'd be calling up Jamal Adams with those issues we mentioned. The injury history, the character concerns, and all that. I'm out on Jamal Adams. No, thank you. Now, let's ask you in our pinned comment today. Should the Ravens sign Jamal Adams? Type S for sign, P for pass. Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think. For the best Ravens coverage you won't find anywhere else, you got to subscribe to Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports as we bring you our daily news and rumors, interactive Q&A mailbags. We are bringing you breaking news. Anytime the Ravens make a signing, add a new player to this roster, like let's say Jamal Adams, we're going to bring you a video as quick as we can here on the channel. The latest happenings on your favorite team all off-season long, where there is no off-season here on Ravens Rundown. Subscribe now for free. Never miss a moment. Help us reach our next milestone of 17,000 subscribers on the channel. Next up, let's turn our attention to Ravens tight end Mark Andrews. It was a down year for Mark Andrews in 2023. He was very injury-riddled as he missed a number of games this past year, and it was really the first time in his career that we've seen multiple injuries have an impact on Mark Andrews, play a significant role, right? Well, the folks at Bleacher Report, Ryan Fowler is saying that the top priority for the Ravens of what they should do next is get an extension done with Andrews. Here's more from Ryan Fowler. Although the ascension of Isaiah Likely has been a positive, Mark Andrews will remain Baltimore's top flex weapon as long as he's in town. Length of extension and monetary details become more and more of a question as players age, but locking in Andrews past his 30-year-old season should remain a priority for GM Eric DeCosta. Cap space is an issue in Baltimore in both the present and the future, but locking in Andrews would extend the Ravens' offensive ceiling in years to come. Now, while I agree, I do want to see Mark Andrews get extended and be around in Baltimore for a period of time. I don't see the sense of urgency to get this done. This is not like the wide receiver market that is just going astronomical, and you better pay your wide receivers now before it even gets worse, right? The tight ends, we're hardly seeing a ton get paid at this point in time, at least not like the wide receiver position. And so you look at the other things the Ravens have to do, they have to figure out. Although you should get something done with Andrews, I don't see the sense of urgency necessarily, and especially when you consider Andrews coming off those injuries we mentioned last year. How is he going to hold up long term? Is it going to get worse? To me, I think those are questions you would like to see. And then also, how does Isaiah Likely factor into all that? We'll discuss here in just a moment. Let's ask you guys, should the Ravens extend Mark Andrews right now? Is now the time to do it? Type Y for yes and for no. Way in the comment section, tell us what you think. We're very excited around here for Nate Wiggins to be making his debut with the Baltimore Ravens this season. We have his jerseys on sale now, chatsports.com/Wiggins. He will be wearing the number 2, so trade out that 1 for a 2. We get men's and women's options, the purple home jerseys, the black alternates, the white road jerseys, all of that and more. Go see for yourself. Chatsports.com/Wiggins. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Free shipping available as well. Get yours today, chatsports.com/Wiggins. All right, let's go over the Benjamins here, how the dollar figures add up for Andrews. Currently, his deal is about 4 years, $56 million. And you compare that to the recent deal of T.J. Hockenson, the Minnesota Vikings tight end who just got paid recently. He got about 4 years, $68.5 million. So if you were to give a deal similar to TJ or even more money than that, then you're looking at, a pay bump, but not like the jump we're seeing that receivers are getting in big pay bumps, but a pay bump nonetheless, and he would certainly be worth that. I don't think the issue is he worth that amount of money? I think we all sit here and say, yeah, he's worth that. But then you start to think about, all right, long term, right? We mentioned the injuries that happened last year. He's a tight end that's taken a lot of hits over the years, right? And then I hate to bring this up, but I just got to be honest when I say this too. I mean, he's got the diabetes he's been dealing with over the years. He took a lot of hits at Oklahoma too, played a significant role with that offense. I just wonder how long Mark Andrews is going to go. If he's healthy, then he's one of the top 3 tight ends in the National Football League. No question about it. He's right behind the likes of Travis Kelce and George Kittle, and then Mark Andrews is next. But I just don't know how long that's going to last. And even taking a step further here, I look into the future. I think Isaiah Likely is the long-term option at the tight end position. All right? If we're talking about 5 years down the road, Isaiah Likely is going to be your guy. He's not going anywhere, right? And so I don't want to be in a situation where I'm forced to choose between the two. You'd like to have them both in the building, but priority-wise, it's Isaiah Likely long-term of making sure that he's taken care of as well. So you have to keep that in mind of paying 2 tight ends here. And also, I would like to see what does Todd Monken come up with to keep both guys involved and active in this offense, we shall see. But at the very least, the Ravens have a good problem to have. Who's the better guy right now? I still think it's Mark Andrews by a significant amount. But I'm buying all the stock in Isaiah Likely. I think he's got potential to be a star in this league. Who's better right now? Is it Mark Andrews? Is it Isaiah Likely? Type MA for Mark Andrews. Type IL for Isaiah Likely. Let us know in the comment section. We'll see you next time here on Ravens Rundown.